Precisely 1:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. The individuals who obtained the first dose of the vaccines exceeded 10 million. Vaccination program is being conducted successfully. The services of most of the state institutions commences today. A meeting of government MPs will take place under the patronage of Prime Minister this evening. News overseas, UK and US blame Iran for deadly ship attack. Local news in detail now. Army Commander General Shavindra Silva says that over 19,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine have been administered so far at the 24-hour vaccination center established at the Vihara Mahadevi Park in Colombo. He said that a total of 19,075 doses of the vaccine donated by Japan have been administered between 8:30 a.m. yesterday and 5 a.m. this morning. Sri Lanka Army yesterday launched a 24-hour vaccination drive for the first time to administer the Oxford AstraZeneca doses, which had recently arrived from Japan. Another stock of Pfizer vaccines purchased by the government has arrived in the island today. At present, the first dose of vaccines have been obtained by more than 10 million people. By yesterday, the individuals who obtained the Sinopharm exceeded 8 million. The vaccines needed for the country were able to obtain from the vaccines-produced countries under the mediation of the President. The objective of the President is to provide vaccines for all people in the country. The government is ready to provide the third dose of the vaccines if necessary. The Secretary to the Ministry of Education has requested all provincial, zonal and divisional education authorities, principals, teachers and non-academic staff to follow the circular on recalling public sector employees to work from today. Meanwhile, Secretary to the Lanka Teacher Association, Joseph Stardin, said that if solutions are provided for the problems of them at the cabinet meeting to be held this evening, they will report for duty. A special meeting of government MPs will be held at the Temple Trees today under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa. The Kotalavala Defence University draft bill is to be debated on Friday. A workshop to educate parliamentarians will be held in Parliament tomorrow. The transport sector says that the transportation activities in the country will be normal further within the next few days. The transport service will supply only for the state and private sector employees. Minister Dilum Amunagama said that the transport service will be implemented morning and evening time. Sufficient bus and rail services are being implemented from this morning with the calling of state service employees for duty after a lapse of several months. However, route number 154 buses were fully crowded in the morning as there were no sufficient bus operations conducted at the 154 routes. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news.
Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
Continuing with more stories here at home, the Singapore has donated equipment worth over $180,000 for the cleaning of coastal belt, which was polluted due to the Express Pearl vessel issue. 8 machines in this regard was handed over to the State Minister for Coast Conservation this morning. The Registrar General's Department said that copies of births, death and marriage certificates will be issued online from today. The department stated that the application for relevant certificates can be made using mobile phones and computers, and payments can be made using Visa and MasterCard. The requested copies of certificates can be obtained by express mail or at the nearest divisional secretariat. Further information can be obtained from the website www.rgd.gov.lk or by calling 0112 889 518. That's local news.
the largest bonus declared in the history of the Sri Lankan insurance industry. Sri Lanka Insurance Grand Bonus, an unmatchable bonus of 8.6 billion rupees only for Sri Lanka Insurance life policy holders from the nation's largest insurer. Call 0112-357-357 for more details. Sri Lanka Insurance, like a father, like a mother.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The state employees reported for duty today according to government circular. Therefore, the public services activities will be normalized in future. All institutions will supply their service according to health guidelines. According to the circular, educational authorities, officials of the Education Service Administration, teacher inspectors, principals and teachers and non-academic staff should report for their duties. Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Professor Kapila Pereira, said that the right of higher education has been confirmed and there are 30 private universities functioning in the country for higher education.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And on Watchlight, several low-lying areas are inundated due to the blocked drainage network between the Colombo-Galle Main Road and the Benthura and Ambalangoda roads. Due to this reason, several cultivated lands in the area have been damaged. The residents in the area have requested the relevant authorities to clean and maintain the drainage system to prevent the recurring blockage problem. This is for the attention of the Provincial Road Development Authority. That's came to you on Watchlight. Moving on to world news headlines. UK and US blame Iran for deadly ship attack. New rules for fully jabbed US and EU arrivals begin. US to begin new Afghan refugee program, says sources. World news in detail. The UK and US believe Iran was behind a tanker attack that killed 2 people and have vowed to respond, calling it a violation of international law. The MV Mercer Street, operated by an Israeli-owned firm, was attacked off Oman on Thursday. A British national and a Romanian citizen were killed. The statements came after Israel's Prime Minister Naftali Bennett said there was evidence that its long-standing foe Iran was responsible. Mr. Bennett warned that they know how to send a message to Iran in our own way, while Tehran rejected what it called the baseless accusations. People who are fully vaccinated in the US or European Union will no longer have to isolate when arriving in the UK from an amber list country. The rule change comes in across the country from today. The UK government has said the change, which was announced last week, will help to reunite family and friends whose loved ones live abroad. Airline bosses have welcomed the move but are calling for more countries to be added to the UK's green travel list. Finally, on world news, US President Joe Biden's administration will launch a new program to resettle certain Afghans as refugees in the United States. An administration official and 2 knowledgeable sources said yesterday. The US State Department was expected to announce the setting up of the so-called Priority 2 refugee program today. The 3 sources said, speaking on condition of anonymity. The State Department did not immediately respond to a request for comment. That's on World News.
Development News is brought to you by Quality Matters Than Price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melva RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melva RB500, #1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
On development news, Minister Douglas Devananda has advised the relevant authorities to prepare projects to be implemented for the development of fisheries sector on the base of government economic policies. A special discussion was held by the minister to discuss on proposed development projects initiated by the Ministry of Fisheries.
Development News was brought to you by Quality Matters Than Price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melva RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melva RB500, #1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
And on sports news, India claimed a shock 1-0 win over Australia in the women's hockey to reach the semi-finals for the first time in their Olympic history. Gurjit Kaur scored in the 22nd minute from a penalty corner to give India the lead against the three-time champions at Hockey Stadium. The United States beat Mexico 1-0 in extra time to win the CONCACAF Gold Cup for the 7th time. Atlanta United defender Miles Robinson headed in the after 118 minutes in Las Vegas, his third international goal. At present, China is leading at the medal table by winning 24 gold, 14 silver and 13 bronze. America is in the second place by winning 20 gold, while Japan is in the third place by winning 17 gold. That's on sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
United Nations Development Programme says it will provide support to the upgrading of tourism promotion strategic activity plan from this year to 2024. The tourism sector in Sri Lanka was set back due to corona pandemic. The organisation has also said that the need to introduce social protection ownership is essential. Tourism industry is the third main business of the country, which brings income to tourism industry.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
And on economic news, Sri Lankan Airlines said it has started flying to Moscow once a week using Airbus A330 equipment with 269 economy and 28 business class seats. Sri Lanka has a long-standing relationship with Russia, which dates back to many centuries, as we have kept an undiminished friendship propagating trade, tourism, culture and education, Sri Lankan Airlines Chairman Ashok Patrige said in a statement. Sri Lankan Airlines resumes flights to Moscow, providing a significant air link that opens to the gateway of the South Asian region.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
The Met Department says several spells of showers will occur in the Sabaragamu and Western provinces and in Nuwara, Kandy, Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in Uvu province and in Ampara district during the evening or night. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere.
Weather Report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Back to the headlines. The individuals who obtained the first dose of the vaccines exceeded 10 million. Vaccination program has been conducted successfully. The services, as most of the state institutions, commences today. A meeting of government MPs will take place under the patronage of Prime Minister this evening. News overseas, UK and US blame Iran for deadly ship attack. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news and